Batteries are so essential to our lives today. Our smartphones, work computers, and even some modern cars are powered entirely by electric batteries. Now, let me show you a product from today's sponsor, Anker, that can help you bring portable power to whatever outdoor projects or activities you have lined up for the summer. This is the Anker 757 PowerHouse, and it's the brand's top-of-the-line model for portable power capable of 1500 watts of peak output with 1229 watt-hour capacity. It has a bunch of useful features for bringing portable power far off the grid, whether you're powering mobile devices, power tools, or even appliances. Let's start with the unboxing and get a quick hardware tour of this guy. The package includes a set of charging cables. This is the main AC cable and will recharge through a standard 120 volt outlet. There's also a DC charger, so you can connect the PowerHouse to a car's cigarette lighter port. Then there's this harness used for hooking up the PowerHouse to any compatible solar panels. There's also a nifty weatherproof cover for the PowerHouse. Then we have the PowerHouse itself. Now, in order to activate the battery, I have to plug it into the charger for a second. Oh. Okay, well, you might need an extension.
Yes.
Oh, there it is. The PowerHouse has a total of 3 full-size outlets, 3 two-prong outlets, 4 full-sized USB ports, 2 USB-C ports, and a 12-volt car socket. Both the cigarette lighter and the outlets each have their own toggle switches, so you can fully turn off the power without having to unplug everything physically. There's a backlit display, and the button next to the display is going to activate the screen so you can see how much battery is left. It will also show you an estimate of how much longer the battery will last under the current power load. There's also a power save mode switch that will automatically shut off the PowerHouse once all the devices are fully charged. But do make sure if you're using this for CPAP or medical devices that the power save mode is disabled. Over the screen there's an ambient light bar with 3 brightness levels, and it's perfect for illuminating the area around the PowerHouse so you don't have to fumble with plugs in the dark. So I only have one light here, and I turn all the lights down so you guys can see how bright this light bar is at the top of the PowerHouse. So this is brightness 1. You can see anything on the little table, like during an outage or whatever you're doing. And number 2, oh, that's the wrong button. Number 2, a little bit brighter. Number 3, you'll be able to see where camp is with this light. And then obviously you have your SOS, if you hold it. If you're in the middle of the woods and a park ranger sees this, they'll be able to find you. The charging ports are on the back of this unit, right behind this little magnetic door. Just so you know, the unit will only work with up to 120 volts through the main inlet. The other connector here is used to connect to your car if you want to charge it through your car's cigarette lighter. Or if you have the optional solar panels, you can hook them up using the included harness and get up to 300 watts of recharging power. And that's going to be super useful if you take this fully off the grid. You're not going to be having power for days. You can use the solar panels, and this guy will recharge itself in about 4.5 hours of sunlight. As for regular AC charging, Anker is using its HyperFlash technology, and it can recharge the PowerHouse from 0 to 80% in just 1 hour. Plus, Anker is also using high-quality lithium iron phosphate batteries that will remain healthy until well into 3,000 charge cycles. So if you're going to make an investment on something like this, you'll want something that you know is going to last for years. Anker is confident about its battery and charging technology, so every PowerHouse comes with a 5-year guarantee, so you can be sure you're getting a product that you know is going to last. Now let's make some breakfast. We're going to take the battery outside, so I just wanted to point out the nice ergonomic handles for carrying the unit. So now that I've got the Anker 757 out here, I'm going to go ahead and do a simulation, pretend that I'm camping, and I brought my entire skillet, and I'm going to make breakfast sandwiches. So we're going to go ahead and use the Anker 757 to test how much battery you'll have left after making a decent breakfast. So I'm going to go ahead and hook this up right here to the outlets, and the unit is at 81% right now, so it's not fully charged. and I'm going to turn the unit all the way up. So immediately after turning this skillet on, I hear the fan blowing inside the unit, and there's a decent amount of airflow. And right now, as you can see, the unit, it is using 1225 watts of power out of the PowerHouse, and it estimates that it's going to be about 0.7 hours before the battery is depleted. I'm only going to use one appliance at a time because these are very heat intensive appliances. I do have a couple other ones I'm going to test out as well. Now let's see what we're at now. We were at 81%, we're down to 76%. So there's the butter. Ooh. You know, moving into this house, I didn't think that I would be cooking out here, but here I am. Egg number one. Let's go ahead and check on the PowerHouse and see how it's doing. So currently we have 73% left. If you are feeding a family of 4, if you're feeding 6 people, you could probably feed like 8 people pretty comfortably off of one of these. And so if you're going to use this for cooking while you're out camping, it is going to use a lot of power, but you can find the optional solar panels, and this guy will recharge up in about 4.5 hours. So it won't even take half the day to fully recharge. So I think these are ready to flip. Flipping egg number 1, flipping egg number 2. So I'm almost done with my eggs and I'm already down to 68%. So we used about, what's that, 13% to cook the egg, and it's pretty much done now. I'm gonna take the eggs off. I like my eggs runny, so that's why I'm taking them off now. Boop. Okay, so I went ahead and turned off the skillet. I'm gonna unplug it because I'm gonna use a different appliance to continue my breakfast sandwiches. So we all got one, a toaster. A toaster is another item that uses a lot of power and generates a lot of heat. You could expect the capacity to go down significantly, but you will still be able to have some power left over for charging stuff or turning a fan or running a small fridge for longer. So there's definitely a lot of possibilities with the Anker PowerHouse 757. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug in this toaster, get our toast on. I'm gonna be making 2 sandwiches, so I have to run the toaster twice. So that's on. Let's see how this is using power now. So I just turned it on. It's using currently 700 watts of power. Sandwich number 2 going in. Whoop. All right, so I got my other toasts. I'm gonna actually switch appliances now. I'm gonna get rid of this toaster, which is hot, 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 hot. I have a water kettle, and I'm gonna heat up 2 cups of water to make tea. So I'm gonna plug this in here, and while I'm making my sandwiches, I'm gonna wait for this water to boil. So I got my water here. Whoa, immediately fan went to high speed. So here on the display we see we're at 62%. We've almost used 20% since we started cooking. So I'm gonna go ahead and start making these little sammies. So ham here, a little ham on this other one. Something that I can really see myself doing if I was into sports is tailgating. If you have one of these and you go tailgating to make burgers, you can definitely make a sizable amount of burgers. Or even drinks. You can probably make mixed liquor drinks with a blender. You can use a blender here. I don't have one right now, but you can use one. Well, the water is starting to boil. Almost there. Oh, and it's done. So I just finished the sandwiches. The kettle just stopped. So let's see where we're at. We are at 56%. Now, the kettle did use a good amount of power, but considering we started at 81%, we're down to 56%, and we're pretty much done cooking. I'm just gonna make some tea now. So if you have a kettle and you are like out off the grid, whatever, you can cook your water. You can cook your water. You can cook your water. You can boil your water, and if you have something like this, an insulated thermos, you can keep your water hot the whole day, even into the night, and you can make your tea, make some coffee, whatever you need while you're out. And I'm gonna just throw some tea in here. Really, really impressed by the PowerHouse. I was able to literally make breakfast. All right, now this is ASMR right here. Ready? Crunch factor. Here we go. Oh yeah. I have a beard, so this will get stuck in my beard, but worth it. Oh, that would be great. Go camping, you get a nice hot cup of coffee or cup of tea, nice hot sandwich. I didn't have to start a campfire. There it is. The other situation where I really see this PowerHouse coming into use is during a power outage. I live in South Florida and it's hurricane season literally half the year. So having something like this to keep essential devices powered during an emergency is super handy. Actually, the other day, there was a power outage here because the power company is doing some maintenance across the street. And so I hooked up the power station to my desk where I have my MacBook Pro hooked up to my ultra-wide monitor, as well as a lamp and my phone charger, and I was able to continue working for about 4 hours using just 30% capacity of the PowerHouse. Now, this is a large machine with high capacity, and some of you might be thinking that you don't need this much, and that's okay. But you can also check out Anker's smaller offerings, like the 535 Power Station, or even the entry-level 521 model, which starts at about $250. Otherwise, if you're ready to get the Anker 757 PowerHouse, you can get a $100 discount by clicking on the link in the description. Thank you so much to Anker for sponsoring this video, and thank you all for watching. Take care, everybody, and stay cool this summer.